All new this morning on Denver 7 News at 5, buyers are now in control of Colorado's housing market.
Last month was really big indicators that the market has fully shifted.
The changes we're seeing for the first time in years.
A beloved tradition returns to a community that has already lost so much. The special Labor Day parade planned in Lewisville this morning.
And Colorado hikers already have to share the trail with mountain bikers. Now you may have to move over for e-bikers as well. The new debate over where they should be allowed.
Yeah.
Good morning to head out on a bike right
Yes,
now.
maybe you're out on the trails and able to kind of take it easy on this Labor Day. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brian Sanders.
And I'm Nicole Brady. If you're up with us and having to go to work today, it at least is going to be a pretty nice one out there. Katie, more heat though.
Yes, our hot streak will continue. Happy Labor Day to you guys. It's a lot of clear skies here across the region. No advisories in place and a very mild start to this Monday morning. Your weather headlines: it will be hot once again this afternoon. Today, tomorrow, all the way through Thursday, we're expecting highs well above average, around 10 to 15 degrees, so upper 90s, close to 100 degrees in spots. Very little rain is ahead. A few gusty thunderstorms possible over the mountains the next couple of days, but the dry streak also continues for the plains. 70 degrees already right now out at DIA under that mostly clear sky. Winds sustained from the southwest. Will be nice and mild this morning. Best to get out early if you're exercising, going for a run or a bike ride. By 10 o'clock, we'll already see some low 80s under that sunny sky, and daytime highs expected to reach the high 90s. Downtown Denver up through Fort Collins, Greeley looking at a high of 100 degrees by 3 p.m. and warmer than average as well into the mountains. 80s to even some low 90s. Around 10,000 feet, temperatures will still be quite pleasant in the 70s. Here's what it looks like on Futurecast. You can see the heat building quickly today. Some gustier winds at times over the far eastern plains, but dry weather expected, Micah, for us tonight, tomorrow, and through Thursday.
Right, sounds good. It'll be nice and dry for the barbecues out there. And this morning, your morning commute has been relatively quiet. This is at I-25 near 20th Street. And as you can see, traffic is flowing pretty smoothly. Not a lot of cars on the roadway, especially for a Monday morning. But let's go ahead and go to the map. I'll go ahead and take you through a few drive times. See drive time in that area. Southbound I-25 from I-70 to Broadway, just running at 7 minutes northbound as well. Now, if you're headed to or from the airport today, right now, things are looking good. Westbound I-70 from Pena Boulevard to I-25, 10 minutes, 11 minutes eastbound. And westbound I-75 from 104th Avenue to I-25, 10 minutes. Southbound I-25 from Northwest Parkway to Colfax, 15 minutes at this hour.
Well, new this morning, buyers now have the power in Denver's housing market. Prices are falling and homes are staying on the market longer, forcing sellers to make some concessions. The August sales report from the Denver Metro Association of Realtors shows nearly 7,000 listings in the metro area. New listings are down almost 16%. The average closing price last month still high, $744,000, but that's down about 4.5% from July. The biggest change is that homes are staying on the market much longer, an average of 19 days. Buyers are having more time to look for a home and also ask for an inspection.
And then when they're getting an inspection, they get to actually ask for inspection items that mean, a lot to them. And so sometimes the seller will fix those items, but what's been more common right now is seller concessions, meaning that they can essentially put money down towards the buyer's closing costs for them to fix those items after they close.
Andrew Abrams with the Denver Metro Association of Realtors told us if you are selling a home, you have to base your price on the last 60 days, not the last 6 months, or you may have to drop that price.
Meanwhile, if you're a renter, here's a look at the most affordable places to live in the metro right now. Brighton is the most affordable. This is according to Apartment List, where the average price of a 2-bedroom is just under $1,500. Aurora is second, Denver is third, and Parker is the most expensive at more than $2,200 for a 2-bedroom.
Well, developing this morning, a tragedy in the Puget Sound off the coast of Seattle. A float plane carrying 10 people went down. So far, 1 body has been recovered. The 9 others are feared dead. Witnesses say the plane just nosedived into the water, and now investigators are trying to figure out why.
These are rugged airplanes, and they're very, very reliable. Even if the engine fails, they're over water, they can glide the airplane to a safe landing in the water. That didn't happen here, and that's going to be one of the main questions, is why.
The Coast Guard is searching for the victims now using special lights and equipment. Sadly, one of the 10 people on board was a child. And in Canada, the search is on for 2 brothers believed to have stabbed 10 people to death and injured several more. Police say they've identified 13 different crime scenes in the province of Saskatchewan. Here's CNN's Amy Kiley.
Do not approach suspicious persons. Do not pick up hitchhikers.
Emergency alerts have been going out in Canada after a stabbing spree in the province of Saskatchewan.
It is certainly a very significant event, if not the largest, certainly the largest we've seen in the last number of years.
Police say they've identified at least 13 crime scenes. They're in the communities of the James Smith Cree Nation and Weldon. A manhunt has been underway overnight for these two suspects, 31-year-old Damian Sanderson and 30-year-old Miles Sanderson. Authorities believe at some point they were traveling in a black Nissan Rogue with a Saskatchewan license plate. The search and community alerts have been extending from that province into neighboring Alberta and Manitoba.
It appears that some of the victims may have been targeted and some may be random.
Police say they're also looking for a possible motive and more information in the digital sphere.
Social media brings us lots of information and brings us lots of challenges.
Condolences are pouring in for the victims and their families.
Thank you for any information that you provide to police because that is so valuable. Stay safe, Saskatchewan.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Meanwhile, here in Colorado, police are looking for a man who ran over a Walgreens employee in Lakewood. Happened at the store on West Colfax and Kipling. And here's a look at the suspect and the truck he was driving. Police say he was shoplifting before he ran out and got into the truck, and police believe he intentionally ran over the employee who was standing outside the store. There he is, and a look at the truck. Anyone with information should call Lakewood Police. Well, hopefully you're enjoying this day off of work, but Labor Day means something extra special to a local community today. Denver 7's Veronica Acosta joins us live because there is a long-awaited event returning today in Lewisville.
It's the Lewisville Labor Day Parade. Typically it happens on this street right here behind me, Main Street. It actually didn't happen back in 2020. That was mainly because of the pandemic. And then we know last year it would have typically happened on this street, but it was moved off because you probably see some of that outdoor dining here behind me. The city didn't want to disrupt what was already a really tough year for some of these businesses, so they opted to move it off. This year it is back. We also know that at the end of last year, Lewisville, this community, it was really devastated after hundreds of homes were burned and some were even, partly destroyed because of the Marshall fires. So this really is a happy event for so many parents, so many kids that typically look forward to it finally back in their community. So if you've never been to the Lewisville Labor Day Parade, we have some video from back in 2019 here to show you so you get a good look, a good glimpse into what this was kind of like back then. Now this year there's a really special theme, and that theme is Happiness Is. Of course that's intentional because it truly is a celebration after all this community has been through in the past several years. Now before the main parade kicks off, there is going to be that children's pet parade. If you guys aren't familiar with that, basically kids get to walk down Main Street with dogs, cats, birds in cages, maybe even their stuffed animals as well, and have a good time here. That's going to kick off at 9 this morning, so a little bit before the actual parade starts. Now if you're wondering about those logistics, here's what you need to know. The actual parade, that one kicks off just an hour after the children's pet parade, so at 10 this morning. You can bring those chairs, bring those blankets, maybe consider getting here a little bit early so you get a good spot to be able to watch and see everything that's happening here. The parade itself, it's going to go down south on Main Street, and again, anybody and everybody is welcome. Just be mindful that some roads are going to start closing pretty early. They're going to start shutting down at 7 this morning, some of these side roads that are adjacent to Main Street, because again, that children's parade kicks off at 9, and we want to make sure that they're all safe and have fun there as well. We're live in Lewisville this morning. I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
And it will be a beautiful morning for the parade there. Sunshine galore and hot later on this afternoon. A long stretch of 90s are ahead for the metro area and the plains, around 15 degrees above average for this time of the year. A few mountain storms here and there. I'll show you where we're expecting those still to come.
And your Labor Day traffic is looking pretty good this morning. Not a whole lot to tell you about. Most areas are running in the green. Now, as the sun comes up, I will check those roadways heading to and from the mountains because I have a feeling that's where we're really going to see traffic pick up over the next hour or so. But for now, anywhere you need to go, you're looking good.
All right, Micah, thanks. President Biden's move to forgive some student loan debt hits a snag, why some people may face a tax penalty because of it.
Also, a new pandemic habit you might not have noticed you've picked up a lot more often, how our eating changed with all the time spent at home.